Well, welcome to another edition of Shelton City Council Looking Ahead with City Manager Mark Ziegler. And Mark, business meeting coming up Tuesday night. Yeah, it looks like you got a full agenda. Let's just touch on some of the top things coming before the City Council. State and local cybersecurity grant. Talk about that for a minute.
Well, this is a great opportunity. We have a grant that will fully pay for a risk assessment on the cybersecurity side of things. So we're seeking council's approval to move forward with that grant contract with a firm that will come out and do a full assessment, make sure that we're protecting the city's systems, internet systems, our utility accounts, and everything that goes with that, and we're not in jeopardy of any hacks or ransomware or something like that. So we believe, it's really important. It's a critical service that we provide, and we want to make sure that we're providing that service for our community without having those some of those weaknesses maybe in place. With a small entity like this, you tend to kind of go through, day-to-day work a little bit like home. And sometimes those things get pushed back because you have these emerging issues all the time. So we're doing a much better job in being proactive and strategic in our planning processes. And this is a program that is a result of that. So happy to bring this to council for their consideration.
You have another big public works project here, Angleside Reservoir capacity and some upgrades there.
Yeah. And we've been talking about water storage and water infrastructure and the water capital improvement program for quite some time now. And this is kind of the first project just got approved by council, which is the well one, the high school tank pressurization project. This is kind of the next emerging project, and this is the south side of town. We have one water tank on the south side of town. It's called the Angleside Pressure Zone. That serves basically everything from Railroad Avenue to the south side of the city limits up to Summit, out to even on the other side of Highway 3 or Highway South out to Puget Street, out Fairmont. So it's a very broad geographically pressure zone, if you will, and there's very varying elevations, and that presents difficulty when it's a gravity system. So if somebody's 100 feet below the tank, they have higher water pressure than somebody that is 5 feet below the tank. You have to manage that correctly, or you'll have some structure damage. So with that, we can't fully use the water tank that's in place up at Angleside. You have to draw down that tank. You can't fill it to its maximum capacity. So the people that are 100 feet below that tank will start blowing gaskets and everything else in the water system. So this, as we see some emerging development in that south side of town, it just kind of exacerbates that problem. So we need to address that for the existing development of the community, because we have codes that we have to meet with Department of Health and fire code for capacity and gallons per minute for any fire flow, and then again for the emerging development. So this project kind of bring it full circle and describe what we're doing here. Is we're going out to some design. We've had some preliminary work done to review what kind of projects would help us and assist us in increasing that capacity and correcting some of those pressure issues. And so this goes into the design of that project. We hope that without putting in a new reservoir, we can actually fix some of those pressure issues, as well as add the ability to create additional capacity for more connections to bring that on the side pressure on the south side. So that work is ongoing. We have a direct appropriation that our state delegation assisted us to receive the last session. So that funding will be used for this project, and we're happy that offsets the commitment that our ratepayers would have to make. it's a really important project for the south side.
So on your action agenda, you have 2 items relating to your courts. You've got a prosecution service contract and then a grant for defense. Now, some people would say, why do you have to do both? Can you explain why?
Yeah, it's statutorily required, right? The state of Washington requires local jurisdictions to provide indigent defense services. So those that cannot afford to have to hire a defender, the state has to provide that. The state draws that down and pushes that down to local jurisdictions, in this case, municipal court. So we contract with a law firm to provide indigent defense services, and conversely, we have to prosecute those that need to be prosecuted. So we don't have the caseload that might dictate us hiring a prosecutor full time. So what we do is we contract with a law firm that is able to provide those services as needed. And typically these firms provide these services to various jurisdictions, other jurisdictions, so full-time positions and whatnot. So our existing prosecutor gave notice back in August. We went out with a request for proposals and selected Denison Law Firm. And so the council is going to review that contract for approval on the 19th. And for their approval, the expectations of Denison Law Firm will take over prosecutorial services for the city of Shelton's municipal court on January. And so we're looking forward to that.
So that's just a few of the items on the agenda for your city council Tuesday night, 6 o'clock in the courtroom at the Civic Center. You can attend in person, and you can sit at home and log into the Zoom or just watch it on the city's YouTube channel. Thanks, Mark.
Thank you.